it's Noctis. Subscribe to Vincent Valentine EX Turk channel.
Hello, my arch friends of chaos. Your key knife Vincent Valentine EX Turk, and I'm going with the classic look of my hair right now because this is going to be a good video on definitive theory of how the Niflheim came to be. Or should I call it the origins of the Niflheim Empire, or the secret origins. And this is when we talk about the character Ideolas Aldercrapt and his origins in this. Now, first things first, Ideolas Aldercrapt inherited his father's empire, so he already inherited the Niflheim Empire. So, becoming the new president, something happened to his father, I guess, and this is where it could go into the War of Insomnia, because maybe Arden will come back and fill the backstories. But for now, right now, young Ideolas is now the Niflheim Empire, and it was just a city just like Insomnia, just with advanced technological stuff. Now, maybe not in the grand scale like Insomnia is, but it was a metropolis all along. So it was already a big empire when Ideolas' father, when I don't know how many Aldercrapts there was, but I guess we could call Aldercrapts the rivals of the Lucius Caeliums, because I think they've always competed, and this will also bring issue to what happens later on of why Ideolas hates the Kingdom of Insomnia so much. It was a pretty prosperous city for a while, until that one day, the Scourge. This is where it makes sense, because Ideolas is old, okay? So Ideolas has been around for a long time. Maybe not as long as Arden has, but he was at least 55 years old, at least looking 55, I should say. I'm not going to assume age, because, only Square Enix could determine that, but he was 55 years old looking. This is a theory, anyways. He's 55 years old when he was with Maurius Lucius Caelium in the newspaper, when they were trying to sign a peace treaty. The very first time they tried to sign a peace treaty until, the Niflheim Empire betrayed Insomnia. And if you don't know who Maurius Lucius Caelium is, it's King Regis' father, Noctis' grandfather. So we had to go way back into everything that happened before that. Ideolas is the ruler and king of the Niflheim. I'm not king emperor, because this is a different country. This is a different country, and so this is a very different country. So they go by emperors in their royal hierarchy. But anyways, let's go back. The Scourge hits because this is younger Ideolas. And if Ideolas is older than Maurius Lucius Caelium, that means he's been around. He would have to be around since the Scourge either happened or after it, and had no awareness to it, because it slowly turned people into demons. So this is where I think Ideolas Aldercrapt could possibly be, the very first patient, or should I say patient zero of the Scourge. First of all, he's the Grand Emperor of the Niflheim Empire. So even if his father didn't give him the empire, it could be easily said that Theroy took over Ideolas, and Ideolas killed his father and took the throne, and any family members Ideolas had, because he was taken over. And this is where this is going to get crazy. Ideolas was probably not a bad guy all this time. Before, I think Theroy took over, so he wanted to conquer more countries and do more evil things, because, well, that's the stuff you do when you're a demon. And he'd be the very first one. And the reason why this makes sense, this is when Arden will approach him. Younger Ideolas gets approached by Arden. And first, Ideolas wants to get rid of the Scourge infected, because soon it wasn't just only him that was even though he was the very first infectee of the Scourge, there was actually more people in the city of Niflheim, and hence why Niflheim runs with demons, because people and civilians have turned into demons. Now, there are regular civilians that didn't get hit But they had to evacuate during chapter 13, of course, because, well, Noctis and them were considered terrorists in their country because, well, Ideolas is still emperor, even though, he goes insane and turns into Theroy completely. Now, at first, Ideolas wanted to get rid of Theroy, wanted to get rid of the demon self. But then Arden came to his life, like, why do that? There's a greater power out there. Not only you be able to control your demon form, but you could be able to kill all the astrals and rule over not just the world of Eos, but the universe. And the reason why Arden did that, because Arden is a manipulative person. He manipulates people. He uses people's weakness. Ideolas already had a problem with greed as it is, because he was never happy with this empire. And I guess from seeing Insomnia the first time when he was younger, because we gotta assume he saw Insomnia, or at least heard stories of Insomnia, he wanted more. And I think Theroy increased that need to be more greedier. So Ideolas constantly became more greedier. You know how the greed is one of the 7 deadly sins, right? There's a reason why. Because it escalates. You ain't gonna be good enough stealing just cash from, or a cash or a wallet from a civilian anymore. No, you're gonna commit. You will commit wars, being you get into power to increase your empire, which causes a lot of casualties. That's why Ideolas became evil at this point. He was still young at this point, but Arden has spoon-fed that there's a greater power that's even greater than just ruling Eos. He could rule the whole universe if he wanted to. And Ideolas being greedy as it is, this is why Ideolas appointed Arden as Chancellor, because he liked Arden's ideas. In fact, they both had the same thoughts. That's why Ideolas is arguably like Arden, maybe not as evil, because Arden was way more twisted, but he had the same kind of mindset as Arden. And the fact that Ideolas think he should be the king. Now, with this, so what could this mean, you say? It was, from the beginning, it was him trying to get rid of his disease. But then he kept his disease because Arden told him he can have the powers. He can control the ring and the crystal. So Ideolas has been obsessed with the crystal. And that's why the Niflheim Empire and the Kingdom of Insomnia had wars over and over and over and over again. Because he wanted that power. And not to get rid of the Star Scourge of him anymore. Now it's to increase the power of the Star Scourged form, so he can actually rule not just Eos, but the whole entire universe. Even Ideolas says when he dies at the hand of Noctis, I'm going to rule the world, in that one voice. But I can't do it real. I'm butchering the voice. But the point I'm trying to say is that Patient Zero became from a Patient Zero to the lead, one of the leaders of the Star Scourge. Unknowingly, because remember, Ideolas does not know Ifrit. Arden does. So Arden is completely connected to Star Scourge. So Ideolas assumes Arden is connected to the Star Scourge. So you know what? This is where Ideolas tells Verstal, which Verstal would be a childhood friend to Ideolas, since they're relatively the same age. He would tell Verstal, we gotta make Magitech soldiers using demons and humans and fuse them together. Because Arden gave him the ideas to do that stuff and played on Ideolas' greed. Thus, that's how the Niflheim Empire became what they are. And they had several wars with Insomnia and several wars with so many different other countries in the world of Eos. Because Ideolas wants the crystal for himself now, and not to cure, but to control the entire universe, the star system, the solar system, everything. That's what Ideolas wants to do. And it's because Arden, of course, Arden was going to betray and trick him anyways, because you know how trustworthy Arden truly is. Not very. But Arden isn't a very trustworthy guy, okay? We all know that. We all know Arden's intentions. He would probably get Ideolas to do his bidding for him, but that's how he did. He manipulated Arden. Arden manipulated Ideolas to do all this for him. And that's why all this stuff's happening. All the events of Final Fantasy 15 happened the way it did. You know, that's why Ideolas was really pissed off. Well, first of all, Ideolas was losing his sanity to Pharos in the first place. That was already happening. You know, and soon he turned into Pharos. But Ravis pulled the nail in the coffin when Ravis went around saying that Noxus is the true king and not you, which really set him off. And then it made him turn into Pharos. So, you know, the point I'm trying to say is that, you know, he is still Patient Zero, but he came from Patient Zero to one of the biggest evil emperors of all time, manipulated by Arden. And what do you think about this theory? This is the best I could possibly do research-wise. So may the crystal be with you. Tell me what you think on this theory. And what do you think about a younger Ideolas being Patient Zero of the Star Scourge? Let me know in the comments below. And may the crystal be with you.